The state's growing opioid epidemic, a major discussion point tonight as candidates for Attorney General clash in their first debate. A larger-than-life personality that gets even bigger with every move he makes. Watch Evan shine on the sidelines with his cheer team next at 10.
This is News 3 at 10.
But first tonight, there you see it. Game 1 of the NLCS, now in the bottom of the 7th, and Jesus Aguilar has just homered to extend the Brewers' lead to 6-1. Again, bottom of the 7th inning. As Game 1 of the NLCS continues, some would say it seems like the whole state of Wisconsin is watching and cheering on the Brewers. But for one artist on Milwaukee's south side, the team is watching what he is doing. News 3's Adam Duxter explains.
Milwaukee native Sean DeKay has grown up his entire life a Brewers fan. Now that his team's only a handful of wins away from baseball's biggest stage, he's using his passion to honor the players he loves. On the south side of Milwaukee, this mural has been catching quite a bit of attention. Just like the team it honors.
Now we're winning. Now we're getting national spotlight. Now we have the MVP. Now we're in the playoffs.
Sean DeKay owns Dream Lab, a coffee shop where creators and artists like him can meet. DeKay says painting has always been his passion.
Honestly, I've always had an interest for it my whole life. And then, as I was going through high school, I just dived into it more and more.
But throughout his life, Sean has also been passionate about his Brewers.
My uncle took me to my first Brewer game. I seen Greg Vaughn hit a home run. It landed like 2 feet away from me. The excitement ran through me, and I was a Brewers fan ever since.
Art, baseball, and a blank wall.
I was like, why am I not doing a Brewers theme? Like, it would be perfect for the city right now. Thinking, I'm like, Yelich is going to be the MVP. He deserves the MVP. Let's do it.
He says the only thing better than winning the World Series would be meeting the man in the painting, All-Star Christian Yelich.
I have definitely thought about meeting Christian Yelich, and I mean, I guess that's the goal. Like, if he came to my shop or even came inside, signed this mural, like, that would be amazing.
And on Friday, it wasn't Christian, but Mr. and Mrs. Yelich coming by and surprising DeKay. They say they're honored too.
It's special for somebody to take the time and do this for a Christian and the team.
A surprise moment DeKay will never forget.
Nah, the first words out of Christian's mouth were, wow, it's pretty cool.
Now, DeKay said he would still ultimately love to meet Christian Yelich, but still had no idea he would be meeting Mr. and Mrs. Yelich today. He also told me he's leaving room on his mural for this year's Brewers World Series victory. In Milwaukee, Adam Duxter, WISC News 3.
And Christian Yelich's mom and dad say this playoff run has been exciting for the whole family. As you can imagine, they said they did want to bring Christian along today, but they had to drop him off at work. News 3, your home for Brewer baseball. You'll hear more coverage from Miller Park a little bit later in sports, and it is a good thing that Miller Park has that roof that closes. It's cold out there, Dave Caulfield.
Oh, yes, and in Madison, Eric, we've hit the freezing mark for the first time since the middle of April in Madison. The Edgewater Skycam looking at those clear skies, allowing those temperatures to continue to drop. Right now at 32 degrees, the freezing mark. Calm wind and that dew point up to 30, so temperatures still could drop a few degrees throughout the night. We're in the 30s and even some 20s a little bit to the north and west of Madison. Check this out, 10 to 15 degrees colder compared to this time yesterday. The power of a clear sky versus a cloudy sky, folks. Also light winds helping out things in the dropping temperature department. Temperatures and winds over the next 12 hours will reach lows in the upper 20s, but then we'll be off and running into the 30s and 40s by tomorrow afternoon. And your day planner highs should make it into the low 50s for Saturday. Then we need to talk about possibly a few snowflakes coming down on Sunday. All that and more in your First Alert forecast in just a few minutes.
Dave, thank you. Tonight is the first debate between Republican Attorney General Brad Schimmel and his Democratic challenger Josh Kaul. The two met on the UW-Madison campus. The debate started off with Kaul accusing Schimmel of taking too long to test thousands of unanalyzed sexual assault kits and for spending money on promotional material rather than prioritizing the kits. Schimmel countered that the testing is done and he solved a decades-long problem in 3 years. He also said he's reduced the threshold for spending on promotional items. The two also talked about their plans to battle the state's growing opioid epidemic.
First, I think we need to ensure that our enforcement efforts are targeting large-scale traffickers who are sending drugs like heroin and fentanyl and meth across county lines and state lines. I am proud to have worked to dismantle drug trafficking conspiracies as a federal prosecutor, and I think we need to do more of that, have our AG's office play a bigger role in those types of cases. But we also need to expand access to treatment far more seriously than we have so far, so that people who fall into the trap of addiction are able to get the help they need to get back on their feet. And then I think we need an AG who's going to be serious, finally, about holding the pharmaceutical companies accountable.
I made this my #1 priority as Attorney General, and we're leading the nation in the work we're doing. Wisconsin's recognized as a national leader. I put, on the enforcement side, I put many more agents in the field working drug cases. I put regional prosecutors throughout Wisconsin to work on this. We have increased the availability of safety equipment for law enforcement and increased their training to be able to do this effectively. We wrote and obtained the largest methamphetamine and heroin enforcement grants in the nation, right here in Wisconsin, and that's money we're turning out to law enforcement agencies to do effective work. But I know from my experience that we won't arrest our way out of this drug epidemic. We need a comprehensive approach, and that's what we've put in place.
Candidates are set to debate 2 more times before Election Day, and candidates running for a seat in the U.S. Senate will also debate this weekend for the 2nd time. Incumbent U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin and her challenger, State Senator Leah Vukmir, will be in Wausau tomorrow night for this debate. It is sponsored by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association. You can watch it live here on Channel 3 starting at 7 o'clock. You might start to notice billboards about voting while you're driving around Wisconsin. That's part of a new ad campaign targeted at people who were formerly incarcerated. People in Wisconsin who've been convicted of a felony are able to vote once they're, quote, off paper. That means they've finished their probation, parole, or extended supervision. But the organizers of the All Voting is Local campaign say many people don't know that.
Once I told them that they do have the right to vote once they're off paper, the emotion that goes over their face and the knowing that they had sat out elections for decades because of this misinformation and really this form of voter suppression, it's overwhelming.
The organizers say they're putting up the billboards in low-income communities around the state, including Madison and Beloit. If you need help with early voting or help registering to vote, visit togetherwevote.org. It's homecoming at Verona High School. That means pep rallies, football, and of course, cheerleaders. And among the Wildcat cheerleaders is Evan Patton. Evan has Down syndrome. Dance is his favorite pastime, and if his antics don't get you feeling some school spirit, then nothing will. Amanda Quintana reports.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Learning cheer is all about repetition.
7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
That's why dance is a good fit for Evan Patton. His mind just kind of works like that.
He just brings everybody into it. I mean, the second he starts dancing, everybody's cheering, and you go, Evan, you got this.
Evan was born with Down syndrome.
We found out he had Down syndrome shortly after he was born. Well, he's always had just a bigger-than-life personality. We used to bring him to the Wildcat games here in Verona, and he'd be going just through the stands, just encouraging people to get up and cheer.
Keeping that consistency, that repetition, that's what keeps Evan going.
He tends to be sometimes a little headstrong, a little resistant to change. It's a lot of repetition. He likes to see and sort of watch the routines over and over and is able to sort of pick it up.
And it's that learning style that makes dance perfect for him.
Yeah, yep, just a little bit more guidance and whatnot, but he catches on really quickly.
When he takes to the field, it inspires everyone.
Having Evan on the team is amazing. He brings a smile to all of our faces.
Student or otherwise.
A lot of repetition, a lot of practice, but it's been great to really see him really rise to the challenge.
So with Evan on the team, it makes everyone better.
He brings a lot of good attitude and fun to the team, so everybody really enjoys having him around.
No matter how many tries it takes.
Go Wildcat!
Great job, Evan. His dad says the cheer team has made him feel right at home in high school. He's also involved in the Special Olympics. Our chilly weekend met a chilly night of high school football for the fans out there. We have your First Alert forecast plus Prep Mania highlights just moments away. Stay with us. All right, with the chill in the air, we send Dave Caulfield to the backyard patio to enjoy it. Dave?
Yes, it's for real, Eric. That's for sure. I can feel it outside. For the first time since April, Madison has a temperature at or below the freezing mark. And we can see a little bit of why on Weather Track. We have a trough over us, which is usually associated with some colder weather in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and that has definitely filtered down to the lower levels where we all love and live. So Weather Track showing some snow showers earlier today for portions of Illinois. Right now that is rain, and it continues to move off to the north and east. Nationally, we see that moisture associated with Sergio moving into Texas, surging into Texas, if I could do a terrible pun there. And then for us, I do think we'll be dry for much of tomorrow, but some slight chances for showers arrive late Saturday into Sunday. Downtown Madison on the Edgewater Skycam, the clear skies making all the difference right now. Today's high, 42. Yeah, just about 20 degrees below normal for this time of year. In the 20s in Camp Douglas, Black River Falls, and Watoma. 32 in Madison, 36 in Janesville, and at the freezing mark as well in Lone Rock. Clear skies, light winds, high pressure overhead. It all makes for a frosty night and a hard freeze for many of us tonight. So an alert day in the forecast. That freeze warning goes until 9 a.m. tomorrow, and the first freeze will occur tonight, so technically the 12th and the 13th, so we're a little bit more in line with what 2015, 2014, and 2013 saw as far as the first freeze. Over the last couple of years, it's actually been pretty late, and over the last 40 years, the day of the first autumn freeze has actually gotten about 11 days later compared to when it used to be in the early 70s. Pretty interesting stuff there. Tonight, mostly clear and cold with a freeze possible and likely in many spots. Temperatures in the 20s. Tomorrow, partly sunny, not quite as chilly with highs in the low 50s. So we start out with the clear skies tomorrow, but then the clouds do move back in. We will see a good amount of sunshine, though. It'll help highs get into the low 50s. A slight chance of some showers and maybe even a few snowflakes mixing in at times on Sunday. No accumulation or anything like that, but would be pretty amazing to see at this time. Usually our first trace of snow isn't until the end of this month, so we're about 2 weeks. We could be about 2 weeks ahead of schedule. Some more rain showers also possible on Sunday before we dry out into next week. You can see on your 7-day forecast, temperatures staying in the 40s with plenty of sunshine. Then as we move into next weekend, we're looking at those temperatures a little bit closer to the 50s with highs close to 60 at times. And it may be cold outside, and we can see our first freeze right now, but the playoffs are in sight for high school football. We're going to turn it over to Kevin Lewis and Prep Mania. Let's go.
Week 9, the final week of the high school football regular season. Some teams have playoff hopes, others have perfect seasons on the line, others have conference titles at stake. That's where we kick off tonight. Capital North style, Lodi and Lakeside Lutheran got rained out to Wanakee, or it's a little drier on the field turf. Lakeside ball, Casey Ponashoni gonna keep it, and that is a very good decision. Switch it to the left hand, and it's nothing but green. 80-yard touchdown. That gives the Warriors a 14-0 lead. Lodi ball. Austin Saley, once part of the big play show, hardly touched. 47 yards later, he has a 6-pack of points. Jack Monis in the gun for Lakeside Lutheran, who is turning it on at the end of the season. Pitches to Brevin Jagerlainer. Has a lane and runs through it. Wouldn't make it all the way, but he had 3 total touchdowns in the game. He would punch in one after this run of 78 yards. Lakeside Lutheran wins 35-19 the final over the Blue Devils.
Lakeside Lutheran, the undefeated champions of the Capital North, and Brevin Jagerlainer boy, what a night you had. Let's see, offense, defense, special teams, kind of the way the team played, a complete effort.
Yeah, that's just it. Our team did a great job. I mean, the blocking on offense, our defensive line stopped the run on defense, which is what we were really looking to do. And all in all, just a great team effort for the players and coaches and everyone. So.
What does it mean to not only win the conference championship, but to do it against Lodi, which the team that really doubted the conference for a number of years?
Yeah, we talked about that all week. We knew from the beginning of the year that the conference was going to go through Lodi, and then seeing that as the last game of the year, we're really looking forward to it, and we just kept working, and it feels great to get it done the last game.
Keep an eye on Lakeside Lutheran in the playoffs too. They win tonight, beating Lodi for the conference title.
Thank you very much. More Capital Conference. Watertown Luther Prep taking on the L-Cats. I love the shades. Lake Mills ball. Adam Moen. Jackson Retrum almost goes into the foliage. 15-yard touchdown. 7-0 home team. Then Moen in the shotgun. Again, the clap means give me the ball. Matt Johnson makes the catch. And 46 yards later, he finds pay dirt. The L-Cats close the regular season with a shutout, 28-0. They are headed to the playoffs. 8-0 Cambridge, trying to stay that way as they host New Glarus Monticello. Beautiful sunset tonight. Couple minutes into the game, Denver Evans rolling left, throws to Bailey Furseth. Stays in bounds. And 35 yards later, he is in. It's 7-0. Connor Siegenthaler, Trevor Gassman trying to answer for New Glarus Monticello, their first touchdown of the night, but they would need more. Star of the night, Rudy Homan. 3 touchdowns in the first half. Dabbles in track and field as well. Comes into your living room. Sheds tacklers. If you're not going to tackle me, I'm just going to score, okay? Cambridge wins 49-21. They finish an undefeated regular season. Some other scores, Wanakee, speaking of undefeated, no problemo. 63-0 over Beaver Dam. McFarland finishes a 9-0 regular season over Broadhead Judah, as does Blackhawk. They win 32-2 over Shullsburg. Oregon playing well at the right time. They've won 6 straight. They win 34-31 over Monroe. DeForest shuts out Portage, and Mount Horror-Barneveld an easy winner over Sauk Prairie in week number 9. The Big 8 title's up for grabs tonight. There is a scenario where a 4-way tie is in play. There's also a scenario with an outright winner. Madison Memorial, Sun Prairie could win the title if one wins and the other loses. They're the top 2 teams. The Spartans playing at Janesville Craig. Bundle up. 7-0 Cougars. Jason Saniti hands to Cam Marshall. Ties the game at 7 apiece. Cougars in the home blues. Ben Coulter to Tresson Kusmal. Knifing through the defense. Back and forth we go. 14-7. Home squad takes the lead, but Jeremiah Jordan. Oh, we call that a stiff arm and a pick 6 for number 6. Madison Memorial wins 41-27. They clinch at least a share of the title with Sun Prairie. Love the celebration. Who's at Madison East? All pink, bundle up. Nathan Shower. Tough running. Lowers the shoulder. Get out of the way, please. Tackled inside the 1. He would punch it in. Cardinals have a 14-0 lead. West ball. Dane Armwald, ironically, will use his legs on this play. Gets some daylight. 70 yards later. Inside the 5. That would set up Armwald using his arm. On the throwback, Nazir Jones walks in all by himself. They cut the lead to 14-6, but too much SP tonight. Richie Gillis, Colin Schaefer. It's good to be alone. 33-yard touchdown. Sun Prairie wins, so they share the regular season Big 8 title with Madison Memorial. Middleton going to the playoffs for a 23rd straight year. They beat LaFollette 35-27. Beloit Memorial closes the season with a shutout over Janesville Parker, and Verona breezes past Madison East 47-rip, the final in the Big 8. 8-0 Monona Grove at Watertown. MG trying to stay perfect. Opening drive, Jordan Bishop fakes, throws. Sam Hepp, the hands. Silver Eagles take an early lead. That would be a theme. A few minutes later, MG again. Bishop has all day to throw. Cameron Reeder, tutty. Silver Eagles up 13-0. Less than 2. I'm getting deja vu with the whole Bishop to Hepp touchdown thing. 52 yards. This time, Monona Grove up 28, and they cruise to a win. 35-14. They finished the regular season undefeated. Badger men's hockey beat Boston College 3-0. Volleyball team swept Northwestern. And the high school football regular season in the books. Level 1 playoffs start next week, so it's not like we're actually going anywhere. Jay, Alan, Melissa, Dave, both Stephanies, Kim, Caroline, Jeff, Allison, and everyone who makes the show great on the air and online and makes me look decent, I thank you. How about we do it again in 7 days? Move Knots. It's another week and another big game for the Badgers as they head to the big house. More sports comes your way in moments. Game 1 of the National League Championship Series at Miller Park. The Brewers, winners of 11 straight overall. The Dodgers trying to make it back to the World Series for a second straight season. The Crew started Gio Gonzalez opposite Clayton Kershaw, and the Brewers were delighted chasing Kershaw after 3+, racking up 6 hits, 4 earned runs. Gio Gonzalez only went 2, but Craig Counsell lifted him for Brandon Woodruff, who homered. The Brewers scored 2 in the 3rd, 3 more in the 4th. Right now, 6-1 Crew in the 8th. Afternoon game, remember that, tomorrow, 3:09 at Miller Park. Wisconsin head football coach Paul Chryst says his team loves playing at Camp Randall, but playing in the Big Ten is a chance to play in some pretty cool road environments. One of those, Michigan Stadium, the Big House. Saturday night, the Badgers have loved playing in cool road environments, winning 10 straight true road games. Chryst says it's just part of the college football experience, and he just said his guys like to play.
There's no magic to it, and you're right. And it's, you got to go play, and you know if you're going to play a game, you got to make plays, and you got to make plays at opportune times. I don't have any great insight. I think we've had good teams. They've gone and played and found ways to to do what it takes to win.
Bucks play their first regular season home game 1 week from tonight. Giannis stepping back, hit his first 8 shots. The Greek Freak from 3, and he was in midseason form, especially on the driving, dunking, and stare-down thing. Yes, indeedy. 32 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists. Bucks win 143-121. Stick around, one more break, and then we end the show.
For the flex and the mini taunt.
Dave Caulfield back. One final check of the weekend forecast.
Yeah, it is a chilly night tonight, that's for sure. Already temperatures at or below the freezing mark in many spots across southern Wisconsin, but we will recover in temperature land. Highs will be in the low 50s with some sunshine tomorrow, and then maybe a few snowflakes at times on Sunday. Not out of the question.
All right, Kevin, safe trip to the big house tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
Bring back a dub.
Do my
Have a good
best.
weekend, everybody.